Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm gonna make a video to express my views and thoughts. Never thought that would ever happen. I'm almost 44 years old. Technology started my generation, but the generation after me has far more capabilities. What am I doing here? Well, I'm here to talk about what doesn't make sense to me. Every day the media portrays their stories and tells us what's going on in a negative fashion. What does that mean? I don't know. Today, and I'm in the Bay Area, by the way, uh, listening to the radio, and city of San Francisco is going to count the number of birds that are hit, that crash into a window, because they want to let people know that birds crashing into windows is a threat, or windows are a threat to birds. Well, we have other things to worry about than that. We can't control that. Now we're not going to have windows. So somebody's wasting money working on that project. State of California wants to put a ban on plastic bags. Really? Plastic bags? We want to ban them? We have nothing more important to worry about than to ban a plastic bag? Doesn't make sense. The news media and the things that we do just are not focused on the needs of the people. And why am I on here? Because for almost 44 years, I think to myself, I had thought I cannot make a difference, I can't change anything. And for the most part, it seems to be true. I'm to the point where I'm tired and fed up and feel I need to voice my opinion. As I smoke this cigarette, I have the right to. People complain, quit smoking causes cancer, and I understand that. Um, City of Berkeley wants to put a warning label on cellular phones because they cause cancer. Who's wasting money on these ideas? Why don't you put a warning on hunger causes children to grow up not right? Right? Put an ordinance on nobody's hungry in the United States. Put an ordinance on brutality from law enforcement is not good business. So I don't understand what we're talking about in the media when they portray all the negativity and all the things that we can't change. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I thought about this all day about what I was going to say, and it's odd doing this for the first time. And can you make a difference? And what can we do? Well, I thought about there's one thing that we can do. We have government officials elected, lobbyists lobbying, everybody for their own cause. What happened to the cause of the people? I heard today on the radio, and it makes perfect sense because it correlates to what I was thinking about all day, that Richard Dreyfuss has claimed that there is no more prestige um, in elected officials, which is true. I'm disappointed in our government system in the fact that there is a lot of things that are talked about, and there's really not a lot of corrections being done. Um, we can't even balance a budget on time. How is that possible? That's what we pay these people for with our tax dollars. Um, I have a focus and plan to correct the inconsistencies of politicians. And for those of you listening and watching, vote for the new person. No longer vote for whoever is in office already. Because it is apparent they're not doing anything. They're not making the changes necessary. They're not voting in accordance to their constituents. Not at all. Vote for the new person. We have people in elected officials that you continually hear about. Barbara Boxer is one, Rosie Pelosi, or whatever her name is. Nonsense. Promise us the world, but come through with nothing. We want to do gun control. Okay. Start with gun control with the criminals. You can't even stop a criminal from getting a gun. How are you going to stop the rest of the nation? No sense. Worry about things that matter, and things that matter to the people of the United States. Not just things that matter to you, your neighborhood. Nonsense. Everybody has an agenda, and it benefits themselves. 99% of the American people can agree that government needs to be fixed. But yet, the 1% that runs government can't understand that. That doesn't make sense either. So let's not re-elect the people that cannot change anything. It doesn't make any sense. We have a government that provides laws and guidance throughout the 50 states that we have, and its territories. Within that government, state governments don't agree or can't follow the laws and the rules of government. The use of marijuana is banned by the United States government, but yet other states, there's states in the union and there's states in our country that have legalized the use, either for medicinal or recreational. What message does that send to the people? What does it send to the government? That there's no confidence in the government. Because if the government had full control and full support of the states wouldn't go against what the federal government has said. That's what I don't like. We have people, vigilantes, and I think about equal rights and gay marriage, which there's nothing wrong with that. I am not against gay marriage. I believe people should be treated equal no matter what. But one thing bothers me is that we have Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom in California, who was a vigilante at one point when he was the mayor of San Francisco, and authorized the acceptance and authorized the proclamation of gay marriage and issued licenses to a number of people, which in theory is correct, and I agree that they should be allowed to be married. I don't agree in the manner of which he did it. That bothered me a little bit because he took the law into his own hands. What runs this country is a democracy, and with that democracy, it is a majority rule. At the time that he had approved issuing licenses to homosexual individuals, the people of the state of California said no. Inherently, the Constitution of the state and of the Supreme Court have ruled in favor of of accepting gay marriage, which is good. But now, I mean, but then it wasn't okay, but he took it upon himself to do that. And now he's lieutenant governor. Why was he allowed to just do whatever he wanted and not pay the price? I know I can't. Anyway, those are my issues and my rants. I don't know where we stand with our country that's in conflict with other nations. You hear on the news about ISIS, Hamas, Al Qaeda, Afghanistan, Iraq, the Palestinians, the Israelis, and the list goes on. Russia, Czechoslovakia. I mean, what can we do? Well, the United States insists on being part of all that and that we're going to fix it and correct it. I don't believe that. I'll tell you why. In my state of California, firecrackers are illegal. You can't even stop a firecracker from coming into the state. Illegal aliens is an issue. You can't even stop an illegal alien from getting into this state. I have one more other. That is illegal aliens. It was a firecracker. And drugs. That's another one. All things that are banned are here in the United States. So, in our state of California, you can't stop that from coming into our own state, let alone the country. But you want to try to correct problems 5,000 miles away when you can't even handle your own business here in the United States? Let's give money to these kids that are coming from Central America. Yeah, we sympathize for them, and we feel bad as a nation. We really do. But as a nation, we don't have the resources or the funds to take care of them or the rest of the world. Nor should we before we take care of ourselves. Right? You want to help somebody? United States government? Help our own. Help the projects. Help the ghettos. Work on that first. Strengthen our country by spending all those dollars here instead of sending them elsewhere. You can't even eradicate a firecracker from coming into this state. How can you ever hope to eradicate Hamas, Al Qaeda, ISIS? There's nothing we can do. Focus your resources on our borders so that we never have to worry about them entering. They can't hurt us. They can't do anything to us if they can't get in. But I'll tell you what, you're worried about them over there, but you can't even stop a 14-year-old from crossing the border who came from Central America, thousands of miles away from walking into this country. So where is the security? Right? You can't even secure here, our own country, let alone you're going to try to secure somewhere else. It's not right. Well, I've ranted and raved enough. Who am I? I'm an American of the United States, born and raised. I go by the name of Albert and Dad, and will no longer accept the unacceptable. It's just nonsense. Hopefully, you will have the opportunity to post your own video and tell everybody the same thing, your views, your opinions. Sooner or later, somebody's going to get the hint and the clue to do the proper